My dad almost died, and I almost missed my last chance to talk to him. I remember the exact sound of the door closing. That soft click. I didn't know it then, but that was the last normal moment of my life. Everything after that? Different. I was different. And no matter how many times I replayed in my head, I can't change what happened next. Okay, let me back up. I grew up in a regular family. Small town in Ohio. Dad worked double shifts. Mom kept everything together. We weren't struggling, but we weren't comfortable either. You know that feeling where one bad month could break everything? That was us. I was 24, living back home after college, trying to figure out my next move. And then there was my dad. We weren't close. I mean, we loved each other, obviously, but we didn't really talk. Not real talk. Not the kind where you say the things that actually matter. We'd eat dinner, watch the game, argue about dumb stuff. I thought that was enough. I was wrong. It started on a Thursday. Dad came home from his shift looking off. He sat down at the kitchen table and just stared at his hands. I walked past him, grabbed a snack, and asked him what was for dinner. He didn't answer. I asked again. He looked up at me and said, "I'm just tired, bud." Something felt off. I had this weird pull in my chest, like something was trying to tell me to sit down, stay, talk to him. But I didn't listen to it. I just said, "Okay, I'm heading out." I left. That's the part I keep going back to. That moment right there. I went out with friends that night. We grabbed food, watched the movie, laughed until midnight. Normal stuff. And the whole time, in the back of my mind, there was this tiny voice that kept whispering, "You should have stayed." I pushed it down, told myself I was overthinking. Dad was always tired. It wasn't a big deal. I got home around 1 a.m. The house was quiet. I went to bed. And that's when everything went wrong. At 3:17 in the morning, my mom knocked on my door. And when I saw her face, I knew. She didn't even have to say it. Her eyes said it first. Red, swollen, terrified. She was holding her phone so tight her knuckles had gone white. "Dad collapsed," she whispered. "They're taking him to the hospital." Everything went cold. I don't remember getting dressed. I don't remember the drive. I just remember sitting in a waiting room under fluorescent lights that hummed too loud, while a doctor used words I didn't understand, and the only one that stuck was serious. Hours passed. I sat there staring at the floor, and the only thing running through my head was that kitchen table, his hands, his face. "I'm just tired, bud." Why didn't I sit down? Why didn't I ask him what was really going on? How many times had he shown up for me, and I couldn't give him 5 minutes? I was 24 years old, and I thought I had all the time in the world. Nobody tells you how fast it can all disappear. He survived. I need to say that. He made it through. But here's the twist I never saw coming. And this is the part that broke something open inside me. When he was stable, when I finally got to sit next to his hospital bed, he grabbed my hand and he said something I'll never forget. He said, "I've been trying to tell you something for months. I was scared. I kept waiting for the right moment." Turned out, he'd been having symptoms for a long time. Chest tightness, dizziness. He was scared. And every single time he almost brought it up, every dinner, every quiet car ride, he held back because he didn't want to worry us. And I kept walking past him. We sat there in that hospital room holding hands like we hadn't since I was maybe 6 years old. Both of us crying, not just about the heart attack, about all of it. All the years of "I'm fine" and half conversations that never got finished. My dad almost died with things left unsaid. And so did I. That night changed the way I moved through the world. I'm not the same person who walked out of that kitchen on a Thursday evening. I cannot be, because I know now, in my bones, that the people in front of you are not permanent. The door closes, time passes, and one day, you don't get a second chance to sit down. I text my dad every single morning. Nothing deep, sometimes just a meme, sometimes just, "You good?" But it's a thread. It's me saying, "I see you," without having to say it out loud. Because that's what he needed all along. And honestly, it's what I needed too. Don't wait for a hospital to remind you who matters. Sometimes one conversation can save more than a life. So let me ask you this. Has there ever been someone in your life who was quietly hurting and you didn't realize it until it was almost too late? And honestly, what would you have done if you were sitting in that waiting room? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.